In the year 2347, humanity had reached the zenith of its technological prowess. The Earth was no longer a single planet, but the heart of an interstellar empire spanning dozens of star systems. Colonies on distant moons thrived under artificial suns, and fleets of sleek silver ships patrolled the void between stars. Yet for all their achievements, humans remained outsiders in the grand tapestry of galactic civilization. For millennia, the Galactic Council, a coalition of ancient alien races, had watched over the cosmos with a mixture of benevolence and caution. They were the stewards of peace, arbiters of disputes, and guardians of knowledge. But they also enforced strict rules to maintain balance across the galaxy. Advanced civilizations like humanity were expected to adhere to these laws, or face severe consequences. Humanity's rapid expansion into space had not gone unnoticed by the Council. Their probes detected human colonies encroaching upon sacred territories, their mining operations stripping resources from protected planets, and their experiments tampering with forbidden technologies. For years, the Council issued warnings, through diplomatic channels urging restraint, but humanity, driven by ambition and pride, ignored them. It began with a signal, a transmission so powerful it disrupted communications across half the galaxy. Every sentient being within range felt its weight as it echoed through subspace frequencies. It was a message from the Galactic Council, broadcast directly to every human colony, ship, and station. The time for patience has ended, the voice declared, resonant and cold. Your species has defied our laws repeatedly, endangering the stability of this galaxy. You have plundered worlds that do not belong to you, awakened forces beyond your understanding, and shown no regard for the harmony we strive to preserve. This is your final warning. Cease your violations immediately or face annihilation. On board the Aegis, humanity's flagship vessel orbiting Proxima Centauri Prime, Captain Ilara Voss stared at the holographic projection of the Council's insignia, a swirling spiral of light suspended in darkness. Her knuckles whitened as she gripped the railing of the command deck. Around her, officers exchanged uneasy glances, their faces pale beneath the dim red emergency lights. "They've given us 2 weeks," muttered Commander Ryland Drake, his voice tight with frustration. 2 weeks to dismantle centuries of progress. Are they insane? Ilara turned to him, her sharp green eyes cutting through the tension. "No, Commander. They're serious. If we don't comply, they'll make good on their threat." "But how can we possibly comply?" Ryland shot back. "We can't just abandon entire colonies. Billions of lives depend on those outposts. And what about the research projects? We're on the verge of breakthroughs that could change everything." Ilara sighed, running a hand through her jet-black hair. She knew he was right. Abandoning their colonies would mean economic collapse, starvation, and chaos. Yet defying the Council outright would lead to war, a war humanity could not win. The aliens of the Council possessed weapons and technology far beyond anything humans had ever encountered. A single strike from one of their dreadnoughts could obliterate an entire fleet. As the hours ticked away, panic spread across the human-controlled sectors. News outlets broadcast endless debates about whether to surrender or fight. Politicians argued in hushed chambers, while citizens took to the streets in protest. Some called for immediate compliance, fearing the wrath of the Council. Others demanded defiance, believing humanity could stand against even the most advanced foes. Meanwhile, deep within the bowels of the Aegis, a team of scientists worked feverishly on a classified project known only as Erebus. Led by Dr. Cale Armitage, a brilliant yet enigmatic physicist, the project aimed to harness quantum entanglement to create a weapon capable of neutralizing any attack. Dubbed the Quantum Nullifier, it represented humanity's last hope, if it could be completed in time. Dr. Armitage paced the lab, his gaunt frame illuminated by the glow of monitors displaying complex equations. His assistant, a young engineer named Mira Chen, glanced up from her workstation. "Doctor, if this works, it might buy us some leverage," she said cautiously. "But using it could escalate things further. What if the Council sees it as an act of aggression?" Kale stopped pacing and fixed her with a steely gaze. "Mira, the Council doesn't understand negotiation. They see us as children playing with fire. If we show them we're willing to burn alongside them, maybe, just maybe, they'll listen." Back on the bridge of the Aegis, Alara convened a meeting with her senior staff. The air was thick with tension as they debated their options. Finally, she raised a hand to silence the room. "We have two choices," she said firmly. "We can roll over and let the Council dictate our future, or we can take a stand and prove that humanity deserves a seat at their table. I say we activate Erebus and prepare for the worst." Her words hung in the air like a challenge. Slowly, nods of agreement rippled through the group. They knew the risks, but they also understood what was at stake. Humanity's survival depended on more than brute force. It required ingenuity, courage, and unity. As the deadline approached, the Council dispatched a massive armada to enforce their ultimatum. Thousands of alien ships converged on Sol System, their hulls shimmering like liquid metal. Humanity's defenses mobilized, forming a desperate line of resistance around Earth and its moon. On the eve of the confrontation, Alara addressed her crew. "Today, we fight not just for ourselves, but for every human who has ever dared to dream of reaching the stars. Let the Council know that we will not be extinguished, not now, not ever." The battle that followed was unlike anything the galaxy had seen before. Alien vessels unleashed devastating beams of energy, reducing human ships to drifting debris. But the Aegis held firm, its shields bolstered by experimental technology. At the critical moment, Dr. Armitage activated the quantum nullifier. A pulse of light erupted from the ship, freezing the enemy fleet in place as their systems collapsed under the strain. Stunned silence filled the void. Then, slowly, the Council's flagship emerged from the chaos. Its leader, a towering figure cloaked in shimmering robes, spoke once more. "You have proven yourselves formidable," the voice admitted, tinged with grudging respect. "Perhaps there is wisdom in granting your kind another chance. But remember this, should you betray our trust again, there will be no mercy." With that, the alien fleet withdrew, leaving humanity battered but victorious. As the dust settled, Alara gazed out at the stars, knowing the road ahead would be fraught with challenges. But for now, humanity had earned its place among the stars, and a fragile peace hung in the balance.